Yes, I have to be so careful. Morning, Kate.
Holy Spirit, and fill our hearts with the balm of your healing love. Amen.
Catherine, a solemn day. What does it mean to have the theatre doors open and for people to be watching the funeral here?
I think it feels really, really special. I mean, as you know, we have such a long connection with the Queen and now the King as he is. And the demand for it has been extraordinary. So to be able to meet that need in our community and have people coming together this morning here is as you say, it is solemn, but it's very special as well.
And you've met the Queen on several occasions when she's been here, have you?
Well, I have met her, but not here, in fact, because her last visit was just before I started. I met her at the Royal Festival Hall, in fact, when she reopened that, and found her, as everyone who was here when she came here reported, really, really engaged, really interested, and you know, a special moment to meet her.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, no matter what your political beliefs or whether you're a Republican or not, people are acknowledging her great legacy. What do you think she's given the country?
guess is what people say the most, isn't it? That stability, that consistency, the feeling of always being there.
Yeah.
I mean, the legacy will be for years to come, won't it? But having lived through it, I think for me that's what it is.
Yeah.
That sort of reliability in such a personable way.
Yeah, absolutely. And a historic day. We're transitioning to King Charles III. What's your hopes for the future? What do you think's gonna happen now that he's on the throne?
Oh goodness, there's so much in the short term to attend to, isn't there? It's really, really difficult times, isn't it, for everyone at the moment. We've had years of sort of flux and change and worry and trauma, and I hope that we can return to, you know, a period of stability and calm and people being more relaxed. But there's some hurdles between now and there, I think, for us all to navigate.
Yeah. And just remembering the Queen today, when you think of her, what do you think of? You know, is there a moment, something she's done that stands out for you?
I don't think a specific thing. I think it is that incredible duration and longevity of her being there and being, you know, changing. You know, I guess changing over that time, but fundamentally feeling the same is something I guess I'll carry with me.
Lovely. Thanks, Catherine. Cheers. So, Patrick, solemn service today, but it was lovely to see the congregation here with the doors open. What did that mean to people, do you think?
Well, it felt like we were actually there, being in the church and hearing the words that we often hear in church and the sort of music that we often hear in church. I certainly felt that I was really there, and being with other people just helps, I think, to give us a sense that we're all going through this together, and to be able to recognise that how I feel if I see someone else who's feeling that as well. I think it's okay. I can be upset now because other people are as well, and it's really supporting being part of a community and being able to come together.
Absolutely. What are the kind of things people have been saying to you, that they're expressing their grief in the last week? What's been the vibe, as it were?
I spoke to one person who lost their husband recently,
right?
And she, as she joined the queue, saw the coffin. And she said that when she got home, she had a wonderful sense of release, that she could finally say goodbye to her husband. And somehow going through that journey of grief to see the coffin had helped her in her own journey of grief. And I think that's true for a lot of people. But there are those as well who maybe haven't experienced personal grief recently, but have just suddenly realised that this is somebody that they'd never met but was incredibly close. I mean, so personally, I couldn't sing the national anthem at the end of that service.
Felt a bit weird,
because
didn't
it suddenly hit me that she's gone. She's no longer the Queen. And we're singing about a king. And in a way, it hadn't hit me before. It's been quite busy the last 10 days. I thought, gosh, she's really gone. And I think a lot of people have been struck by that.
So Sharon, how did you find the service today?
I found it really beautiful, very moving. I mean, it's very formal because obviously it's the Queen, the head of state, as well as the head of church that has died. But at the same time, this is somebody's mother, somebody's grandmother, somebody's great-grandmother. So I find it, can I get emotional? Quite moving, you know. So we've been wonderful to watch. To be able to watch the funeral on TV of the Queen being buried, her funeral and everything, and all the service, which was absolutely beautiful, but at the same time to be allowed into a private family moment as well. So
and it was lovely that the church had its doors open today. How important was that, do you think, to watch it together?
Very important, not just because she's head of our church, but it's also for the community as well, being open for the community, not just for the congregation, but for all the community to be able to come watch it, because we can all watch it at home and cry and not worry about our makeup and things, but at the same time it's a sense of belonging and being together for this shared moment. It's not just the grief of the Queen dying. This is a moment in history, a big moment in history where everything changes from Elizabethan to Caroline, and you know, and to be part of history. And I think people want to share that together. That's why everybody goes to London. So I think it's important to be able to share this as well with the community of Stratford-upon-Avon.
The day that the Queen died, we were rehearsing Winter's Tale over there, because we're doing that at the end of October in the church. And we had rehearsed the end of the first part of the play where Paulina comes into to see Leontes to tell him that the Queen is dead.
Wow.
And so we just rehearsed that scene. The Queen, the good Queen, is dead. We had a cup of coffee, and 15 minutes later, the youth minister, Phil, came in and said, I don't want to interrupt, but just in case you haven't heard, the Queen is dead.
How strange.
I mean, the irony, you know. So there can't have been 15, 20 minutes passed between rehearsing that scene and then that news being announced. So we had a rehearsal yesterday, and somebody said, they'll be showing it down at the church, and it seemed a more appropriate place to witness it than perhaps the local pub, especially when you've got a 7-year-old, you know. But you know, it was just to mark the moment, really.
Gosh, what does the Queen mean to you? It's a big question, but what has she meant through your life?
I've got lots of memories of the Queen because I was in the St John Ambulance and used to go on different duties. I've seen her at the Stoneleigh, on duty in Coventry when she's visited. I was in the St John Ambulance, and I've been to Buckingham Palace to a garden party.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, and so have you ever chatted to her, Her Majesty?
No, I haven't actually talked to her. No, definitely not. But the one thing I do remember is when she came to Coventry, and I was on St John Ambulance duty there, and I can remember in this carriage bit going along, and suddenly the crowd surged forward, and it was the astonishment on her face. You know, she was a bit taken back about it all. Yes. But
wow. Well, do you know when that was, Elizabeth? Was that? I think she came in. She's come a few times to Coventry.
I think it was when the stone for the new cathedral was laid.
Right. Yes.
Yes,
I've seen pictures from that. They're amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh yes. Yeah, I've got lots of stories.
And so how has her passing affected you? How do you feel about it?
I've been surprised how sad I felt.
Yes.
You know, I certainly, the minute I heard of her death,
but then I thought,
my eyes watered, you know.
Yes.
She's just such a fixture in our lives.
Yes, but I think, well, she has got to a certain age, and all the amount of work she's done. Yes.
Yeah,
and it was a very dignified way that she went as well.
Yes.
Passed away.
Working up until 48 hours before.
That is right.
Yeah.
As if she suddenly decided, enough's enough.
Yeah. Oh.
And it was sad. Yes.
And what drew you to come to Holy Trinity to watch the service?
Oh, I think we felt, didn't we, that we'd like to watch it in a formal setting. Different from watching it at home on our own television. And we would have gone for the queue, wouldn't we? And walked past if we weren't quite as old as we are.
I got lots of memories of coming to this church. I was confirmed here. I was married here. Yes.
Oh, bless.
So, yes, I have.
We actually come from Clifford Chambers.
Right. Okay.
So we go to St Helen's Clifford Chambers.
Right,
but
there
was this
so you
special
both
opportunity.
live in Clifford Chambers.
Yes.
Lovely place to live.
Well, the thing is, I was born in Tavern Lane, Shoptree. I was baptised at St Andrew's Church in Shoptree. I went to Sunday school at St James's Church in Guild Street.
So you've tried them all.
I have. I've done the rhymes, as you might say.
And Angela, how long have you been in the area? Are you born here?
Well, my husband was in the RAF, so we moved all over the country, all over the world.
She's had a interest.
But I from the age of about 8, I've lived at Clifford Chambers, apart from all these other places that we've lived in. And so I think, you know, with the connection with the services, and my father was in the army, you know, I'm always very interested in ceremonials. Very moved by them.